Hello there everyone and welcome back to the next Muunilinst mock update series. This is a very exciting episode because I start to work on one of the main larger buildings that's going to be in this mock. I kind of show you a screenshot and then I outline what my plan is for this set of buildings that I'm going to be working on next, and it's going to be a large scale building. I'm really excited about it and I get a good amount of start work done on the building for this episode. So very exciting episode, and without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, and for this week we got some more awesome donations from Director KW and Michigan Bricks, so both of them huge shout out once again for the amazing support on the channel. Past two live streams have been awesome. We've been getting a lot of good conversations going, and of course talking about Bad Batch, but Director KW Bricks and Michigan Bricks both donated multiple times, so huge shout out to both those guys. Definitely go check out both of them. They're doing awesome things and they're super nice guys, so huge shout out to them, and all that support and all that, those donations are going back into the mock for the epic speeder bike chase, and as well as the funds for maybe some more parts for buildings to make some more larger scaled buildings. So huge shout out to those two guys. And if you guys are free, live streams, I kind of moved them to Saturday nights, so hopefully more people are free at that time. So Saturday nights live streams, definitely come and check them out. Again, huge shout out to Director KW and Michigan Bricks. Alright guys, so for today's episode we're going to start on the main city area. So I've kind of been planning out how exactly I want this to go. Obviously we've got a lot of space left to cover, but it looks like a lot, but when I started outlining buildings it kind of started to shrink a little bit, so I'm not sure how big all these buildings are going to be. It's going to also depend on how many parts I have left to build all these buildings, but I want to make them fairly big. So I'm going to go ahead and put a screenshot on screen right now of what I want to try to accomplish in the next few episodes. Is that main building right there, as you can see, very big, but I kind of want to build the two sides connected by that walkway. So we'll have the front left section and then the right side, and they'll be connected by that middle walkway, if that makes sense. So that's what I kind of want to do, and that's what I have outlined right here. As you can see, I've got some dark gray bricks, if you can see, kind of lined up with how big I want the actual building to be. So I've got those outlined down there, and then a walkway will go into the middle and connect them, and we'll have like droids shooting down at the clones and stuff like that connected by this first large building. So that's kind of the plan for this episode. I'm going to go ahead and kind of start to work on this building and see what I can do to get started and how to make it look like that screenshot. But so there'll be one building structure right there, the other part of the building right here, and those will go up a ways and then be connected by a single walkway. So I think that's going to be the main building that I get done for the next few episodes, and then once that building is done, I'll go ahead and move on to the back part of the city. But for now I want to try to tackle this really large building and kind of get that Muunilinst feel. So that's the objective for this episode, is to start on that building. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so just starting to work on the first building here. I actually did a lot of this on stream, so again, stay tuned to the channel for the Muunilinst live streams. Those have been a ton of fun. But essentially what I've got going on here is the first main building. So you can see the bottom part with the sand green elements is very similar to the other buildings that I was working on down here, with a little bit of light gray mixed into it. So very similar in overall design. You can see I've added in some stairs right there and using some cheese slopes and plates on the side to give it kind of that railing going up and up. And then I've got the pillars right here, same kind of column design, but on top and on bottom I'm using some sand green masonry brick to try to just mix up the design and make it a little different than the other column designs that I've been doing so far in the mock. But yeah, this is what I've got going so far. Again, the idea is that these pillars will kind of go all the way around the outside of the building, and then this is just the first part. So there will be another row of pillars that are a little smaller than those, and then the roof on top of that. So it's going to be a really big building. You can see so far scale-wise with the clones right there down below, but it's going to be a really big building. I'm actually really liking what this is looking like so far. I think this is going to be pretty good. If it's going to come out the way I'm envisioning it, it's going to be a sweet building. So I'm going to continue to go ahead and work and essentially replicate this bottom sand green part on the other two sides. Then actually three sides. The other three sides that I have to do, and then I'll start putting the columns on, and then I'll give you guys an update once I get to that stopping point. But this is what I've got going so far for this building. Alright, so I've worked on the back side here, and you can see I've got it complete using pretty much the same exact design as the front. So I've got the edges in sand green, and then the middle with light gray plates to kind of give it that cool texture, and then mixing in some masonry brick every once in a while to try to give it some good texture, but I'm starting to run low on some light gray plates actually, which is kind of crazy. I never thought I would run low on those, but Muunilinst is taking a bunch of them. So I had to come up with some solutions for the other sides, but this is kind of what I've got for this side. Again, pretty simple, nothing too crazy, but keeping the same design. So the also thing is these first two buildings, so this one and then like these two over here, with this one I want to keep a very similar design, which is why I'm doing this same design for the bottom. Once we get to the rest of the buildings, like up over back over here and stuff, I think I'll probably start doing different designs, but for these buildings I'm sticking with this kind of similar design. And then this side, nothing too crazy again, same design, sand green and light gray, but as I said, I was running low on some parts, so I had to start using bricks instead of plates for the wall right there. And you can tell right here through this shot from looking at both sides, you can definitely tell the difference between the bricks and the plates. I'd prefer to use plates for light gray, but again, I'm running low, so I had to switch to light gray bricks, which still looks fine, but it doesn't look as good as the kind of plates that I was using for light gray. Not really much I can do about that at the current time. Hopefully I'll be able to order some more light gray plates soon, but for now I had to use some bricks. So this is kind of what we're looking at for this side. Again, not ideal, but I think it still works. So here's what this side is looking like. And lastly, on this side, again, I had to use bricks, unfortunately, but again, same design. One thing I did find interesting with the bricks is similar with the plates, how you kind of stack them on top of each other. You get the different lines and different textures. I noticed when I was using a mixture of plates and bricks, but the bricks were in different styles or different lengths. So we got 1x2s, 1x4s, 1x1s, and then mixed in with some normal like 2x2 and 1x2 light gray plates. It actually gives an interesting texture, so that was one way I was able to kind of save this design. So instead of having it just be plain, I was able to kind of mix in some of these interesting texture. Again, not ideal, but this is kind of what I went with for now until I can order hopefully some more light gray plates, or I can find some more. I'm gonna have to take down probably some of my Project Nightfall mock, but that's all right. So here's kind of what we're looking at for the final side. Now all of these sides of the building are complete, so now we can move on to kind of the next couple steps. Alright, so now that all of these sides are complete on the building, next thing I got to do here is you can see I've got the pillars down there. I'm going to start putting those on the building, so I've got to cover this floor with plates. As you can see, I've started to do that right there, and then put the pillars around the rest of the building, and I'll update you guys once I do that. But I think it's going to look pretty cool, so I'm going to go ahead and get to work on that. But this building is taking a while to build just because of how big it's going to be, but I think it's going to be worth it in the end, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to work, and I'll update you guys once I have some more progress. Alright guys, so here's what I've been working on for a little bit. So essentially, if you remember the screenshot from the beginning of the episode, you've got the pillars that surround the building, and then on the inside there's kind of like something to kind of like show the walls, so like where the actual building starts, because the pillars are kind of like outside the building, if that makes sense. So this is what I've kind of come up with so far, just using some simple light gray parts right here, and then mixing in on each corner. I'm going to have masonry bricks. You can kind of see right there I've got masonry brick on the corner, so each corner is going to be a masonry brick design. And then if we kind of go over here to this side, the middle will just be plain bricks, just because I need to conserve parts here because I've got a lot of other buildings to work on, so I can't really use up all my parts on just one building. So just the corners are going to be super detailed with masonry, and then the middle will just be normal, plain, just kind of bricks. Now, something I'm trying out in the beginning right here, or the front of the building, is this kind of window design. So I bought a lot of these 1x2 trans black bricks, kind of just because I thought when I was looking through all the screenshots of Muunilinst before I started this build, I saw a lot of what appeared to be kind of tinted windows, if that makes sense. So I ordered a bunch of these pieces just to kind of see what I could come up with. So this is what I've kind of got up front, just kind of a little glass window piece right there that I'm going to do up front, and then I might do one in the back as well. But for now, I just wanted to show you guys real quick that I am doing this kind of middle indoor wall part that's the actual inside of the building. So I'm going to continue to work on this and update you guys as I go along. But essentially, this is just kind of the tedious part where I'm just stacking bricks up on top of each other just so I can get this inside part done. But when I get done, you're actually going to be able to see what the building is starting to shape up and look like. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. Alright, so I've worked a little bit more here, and you can see I've kind of built up a few more things. I've almost got all the sides built up here, and then I also went in and added in a bunch of tiles. So you can see down there along all the sides we have some light gray and sand green tiles. So those are all matching now. So the sides are now all smoothed out and looking pretty good. Now I just need to kind of finish a few more things here in terms of the side. It needs to go up. So you can see the light gray wall right there. It needs to go all the way up to the top of the pillars. So obviously I've still got a little bit more work left to do on that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you the front side as well. And here is the other side of the building here. I replicated the same exact design that I did on the front of the building over there. So same glass design and then a very similar masonry and light gray design that's kind of shaping around this glass window right there. And then again, I talked about just a few seconds ago, tiled out the bottom there so it's looking all nice and clean. So I definitely think this is looking pretty good. I'm definitely curious to see if you guys like the addition of these windows or if you think this would look better as just a plain light gray wall. But I'm definitely liking it so far. I'll have to see what you guys have to say about it. Alright guys, so here is kind of the situation for this video. This is going to be it for this video. This is all the progress that I've been making for this video. Normally I would like to say to get the whole building done, but this is such a large building that it's going to take 1 or 2 episodes here to just complete the whole building. Because real quick here, just to remind you guys again, this light gray kind of inner part will be built all the way up to the top of those pillars, and then there'll be another floor on top of that, and then we'll have more pillars and then a roof on top of that as well. So my goal is to make this building probably one of the biggest ones in the whole MOC, so I'm really excited to continue to work on that, but I am starting to run out of time before I need to post this video, so this is going to be all the progress I get done for this week's video. But I think all things considered, it's quite a lot of progress. So in the next episode, you'll see me, my goal would be to probably get to almost complete the building. I think I'll get pretty close next episode. We'll see. My goal would be actually to complete the building by next episode, but we'll see how far I get. But this is kind of what we got looking at so far for this building. Again, got the front part done and the whole base, and then I got these pillars all figured out, and then started on the inner base with like the glass windows and everything like that. So definitely let me know what you think of the building so far, even though I must admit it's probably hard to get a sense of what this is going to look like because it's so incomplete, and that's kind of why I hate just to leave it incomplete, but I need to wrap up the video so I can get this out on time. So this episode might feel a bit odd, but hopefully by next episode I'll have the full building complete and you guys will be able to kind of get a better idea of what I had envisioned in my head. So this is all the progress we got done for this week. We've got like half the building done, so I'm going to work really hard to try to get the building complete by next week's video. So let's go ahead and move on to the outro. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, sorry the building isn't complete, but this is all the work I was able to get done for this episode. So regardless, I think I got a good amount of work done. Let me know what you think so far. If you can, it might be kind of hard to tell right now since the building's unfinished, but by next episode, I'm definitely going to try and finish up the building. So hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We're finally getting into some of the more fun parts of Muunilinst, which is those iconic giant Muunilinst buildings that I've been looking forward to building for a long time. So I've been having a lot of fun with this kind of phase of the build right now with all these buildings. So hope you guys are enjoying the MOC series so far and the MOC overall. So as always, leave your feedback in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a great day, and may the force be with you always.